Good afternoon, and welcome to those of you here at the Shuey Athletics Building and to those of you watching online. My name is David O'Leary, and I'm an Associate Director of Digital Content here at Marshall University. We are here to introduce Rafa Simoes as the 5th head coach in the history of the Marshall University women's soccer program. No stranger to our community, Simoes has been an assistant coach with our men's soccer program for the last 2 seasons. He has also had experience coaching in the women's soccer ranks at Ohio University and Nova Southeastern University. In a few moments, we will hear from Coach Simoes, who will address our crowd before opening up to a Q&A session. But first, to introduce Coach Simoes will be our Director of Athletics, Christian Spears.
Who doesn't love David? He's getting so good at this. Isn't David just super good? David, I'm so proud of you, buddy. 2 in a row. Did our head track coach introduction as well. Thrilled to be here with you all today. You know, I didn't know these mics were going to take up all this space, so give me a chance to read in between them and make sure I got my notes. Really excited to announce Rafa. You know, this is a green jacket day, and we all know, I hope by now, we all know what that means. It means another amazing person is coming to lead one of our athletic programs. This time it's Rafa. As always, we stuck to our hiring principles. Anyone who becomes a head coach here absolutely has to have a sincere desire to be at Marshall. Because the direction our president, Brad Smith, and our board of governors is taking us is simply phenomenal. Impossible no longer exists at Marshall. As you know, our principles are simple but critical. They have to have a connection to this place, a connection to our people, and they must know their purpose, and they must be passionate about it. Just like we did when we extended Coach Agnes with volleyball, Coach D'Antoni with men's basketball, and again, when we hired Coach Roberts with our track and field program, Coach Beals with our baseball program, Coach Zirkle with our softball program, and of course, Kim Caldwell with our women's basketball program, we analyzed and verified that those principles were met by Rafa. Coach Simoes absolutely embodies and embraces those core principles. So how did it happen? Well, imagine a scenario where we have arguably the best men's soccer program in the country with arguably the best head coach and coaching staff in the country. Is that an easy one for us all to understand? Then imagine we find ourselves with an opening in our women's soccer program, and though we engage in a national search, thank you, Deborah Boughton, Rebecca Rice, and of course our head men's soccer coach, Chris Grassi, for taking the time to do that national search together and with me. Then imagine that we can also just look down the hall at Hoops Family Field, at Veteran Memorial Complex, and take a hard look at Rafa. Please understand this. The men's and women's teams play and practice, teach and learn in the exact same venue, almost every day. No doubt they are cordial and connected, but they are not necessarily integrated or intentional. Historically, the 2 programs have had different styles, different philosophies, different recruiting areas, different training principles, different analytics and algorithms. Now imagine that our goal is to bring everyone together, train similarly, tactics similarly, recruit similarly, program similarly. Let's be Marshall Soccer. Let's connect our soccer communities, our soccer coaches, and our soccer student athletes, because together we know we cannot lose. So how do we make this a reality? We tap into the best program in the country, the same one that we share a venue with, and we look to the top assistant and determine if he is ready to lead our women's program. We ask his mentors if he is ready. We ask him if he is ready, and we ask our colleagues if he is ready. When we discover that he is, we make him the 5th head coach in the history of Marshall women's soccer. Sometimes it can be that simple. The best person for the job might be right down the hall. Rafa possesses a blend of exceptional qualities that made him an outstanding candidate to be our head coach. We believe in his leadership skills. He has a clear vision for our program, and this will inspire confidence among our student athletes. He has tremendous tactical knowledge. His in-depth understanding of the game, showcasing innovative strategies and the ability to make tactical adjustments during matches, was something our student athletes specifically asked us for in our next head coach. He has a proven track record in nurturing talent, improving individual player skills, and promoting teamwork and accountability, another quality that our student athletes asked us to find in their next head coach. For these reasons and many others, Rafa was ready to take on the responsibilities and the challenges of being our head coach. We are thrilled for Rafa. We are thrilled for his family. We are thrilled for our student athletes. We are thrilled for Marshall women's soccer. Again, the 5th head coach in the history of our women's soccer program, Rafa Simoes.
First of all, respect the room, so I want to thank you guys all to be here. That means the world to me. And I want to give some claps to the players because I think the student athletes are the center of this, so I appreciate you guys being here today. I'm really emotional today. I'm really excited to start this journey. And I want to thank Christian, Deborah, Rebecca, and Chris on the search committee for this job. It means the word to me and the word to my wife. But what a time to be a marshal. When the job opening, I thought it was a no-brainer. I developed a vision, and with all the insights in a decade and 10 years that I've been in the college game, and I saw everything I wanted in the program is at Marshall right now. You look at the president, it's Brad Smith. You look at AD, it's Christian. You look at the men's head coach, it's Chris Grassi. Compliance, Shantaro. And it's all people that I love to be with them. And even Don, that helped me with so much stuff. So this place right now is with all these resources that they want to help you to succeed. And I feel with the resources we have, with the people we have around and everything, we're going to be able to put this program on the national map. I want to thank just some people that I don't forget. I already thanked Chris, but he's a mentor to me. And if you don't know, I play for him. Then I was a volunteer coach for him. And I've been in every stage of coaching in the college A level. But Chris is a guy that changed my life, and I feel he's a pioneer on what he did from Charleston and now what he's done with Marshall. So it's been really good to be from a coaching tree of Coach Chris Grassi. I want to thank Josh Faga, that for me is one of the, if not the best data analytics coach in the country, and probably a guy that I have a lot of respect and learned a lot with him in these 2 years at Marshall, and all the rest of the staff. Just want to say I'm excited. I'm not really good with words, but I'm hard working. I'm 24/7, and I'm really excited to build this together. Thank you.
We will now open up to question and answers. Mr. Grant Traylor will be there in the back to be able to ask questions for him for any of our staff up here.
Rafa, just can you elaborate on what working with Coach Grassi has done for you and will help you with the women's program, how that all ties together?
Great question. I arrived to play for Coach Grassi on his peak at Charleston after he changed the program. So in 4 years there, we reached 4 Final Fours, 3 national championship games, and in my last year, we were a national champion. So I saw him after the culture was already established. And then on my first year, I saw him building the culture in Charleston. Building the culture here. And then when I come back, I got the time after the national championship. So I think I've been with him on different phases. It's just how we recruit. It's not about if he's internationally or nationally. I think recruit the right fit for the program because it needs to be good for the player, needs to be good for us. I feel we are very student-athlete center oriented. So we got to make sure they trust us, we trust them, and we look like one. But I feel the synergy that we have between programs and be a door away from Chris. When I was at Ohio University, when I was at Nova, I used to call him. Now I just got to cross the door and be able to make the questions a little bit easy. So I feel it's massive for the program, have him as my mentor and how my coaching philosophy is a doorway.
When they approached you about the possibility, what were kind of your initial reactions, initial thoughts about taking that leap to be a head coach?
When the job opening, I sit down and after some talking with a lot of mentors and coaches, I develop a paper they call the vision, and I started realizing everything I needed was already in here. So it was not a talk with somebody, I was realizing that now is the right time with the right people to change a program, and what's motivating me is breaking records, and more than that is on the men's, when you see the player come on full cycle, how they arrive in the program and how they leave. I think that's something on the pro level you don't get to do. And here, when you got a player and see how they arrive and how you help them and you see them leaving. Players that have the opportunity to do that was Vinicius Fernandes and Milo. And Milo now he plays a pro at Tulsa, but he's a guy that as a person, I'm really proud to see how the person he became. So I feel, just answer your question, I had already worked with the women's soccer before, and it was the right opportunity to get it.
With an opportunity like this and so many connections to Marshall, do you find that there's a pressure on you, maybe a challenge to be successful, knowing that they're your mentors right here, there's so many connections, or is that something you were looking for, that challenge?
I love a challenge, and I think I'm dreaming with my eyes open. That's how I'm playing. Because when I'm talking with recruiters, when you talk about Marshall, they want to come to here. And when you start seeing everything there's around Marshall, they want to come here. We just opened a new business school, so I have a lot of players ask me, oh, I want to do business administration. Said, we have Brad Smith, we have this new business school. You talk about great AD, talk about great other sports. If you see the women's basketball now. So I feel the Marshall brand right now makes my job easier. And I love the pressure because I do deal with soccer since I grew up, and that's all I do. And I've been that for a decade. And I feel it's time to put this vision in plan, and I feel all the resources are here.
Coach Rafa, what are maybe the first steps, going forward for this program? And with the men's team, I mean, they've developed really high expectations over these past couple of years. So what maybe do you think are the expectations for this women's program?
The expectations is really high. It's being nationally recognized, is win the Sun Belt. But I got to see what we have right now. And I know we have local talent. Bailey Fisher is a player that break records on her high school career, and she's here, and I'm glad she's a local hero in my terms. We have that I've been able to see Alexis, that a tremendous goalie that I think she could go pro from what I've been seeing already. So I feel has been done a good job in the players we have here. I need time now to figure it out, make them trust me, and they trust us, and implement this new methodology. But for sure, we have a lot of good players. But now it's more about the culture and how we're going to do that.
Let me just say one last thing. We hired him, Deborah, maybe 3.5 weeks ago? 3.5 weeks ago, we made the decision. The very first thing he did was got on a plane to Brazil, Argentina, and Chile. And he spent the last 3 weeks there recruiting. That's how I know we're going to be successful, right? Right out of the gate, let's get to work, right? So thrilled, again, for Rafa. Congratulations, Rafa.
We appreciate you all coming to today's press conference. For the media members, we're going to go back against the backdrop where we will continue to have a question and answer portion for Coach Rafa.